Thank you for tuning in to Canal Algérie's nightly news. To the headlines. Reducing seismic risk, governance and foresight, that is the theme of an international symposium held in Algiers under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, presided over by the Prime Minister and in the presence of several experts and specialists in the field. The delegation from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies of Nigeria continue their visit in Algeria, this time in Annaba province, visiting several industrial projects. As part of the efforts in the fight against terrorism, 3 terrorists surrendered to the military authorities in the operational sector in Burj Badi Mukhtar. The Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic commemorates the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Polisario Front and the armed struggle with a military parade reflecting resistance and victory. And the Sahrawi football team plays their first game against the Mouloudia of Algiers at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in the Algerian capital. Welcome again. First off, and under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman supervised on Saturday morning an international symposium under the theme Reducing Seismic Risk, Governance and Foresight at the International Conferences Center, which coincides with the 20th anniversary of the Boumardas earthquake. Present in the event were government officials, members of the diplomatic corps accredited in Algeria and the United Nations office, in addition to several experts and specialists from different continents. During his opening speech, the Prime Minister reiterated the importance of the symposium that should raise the level of awareness as well as the importance of strengthening the means of prevention. Let's have a listen.
Aware of the consequences of seismic risks, Algeria has firmly and steadily developed measures and mechanisms to reduce it through national plans and strategies. That includes notably the Law 04/20 of December 25, 2004, related to the prevention of major risks and the management of disasters within the framework of sustainable development. In this regard, a workshop was completed to update the national strategy for risk management disasters that will be implemented after the issuance of the new law that will replace the 2004 law with its implementation text during the year 2023, but in the coming weeks.
700 participants, Algerian and foreigners, took part in this international symposium. Researchers gathered to discuss the results of the latest worldwide researches in the seismic field and the modern seismic construction techniques. Nadia Almi, Rania Al-Bahri.
Highly exposed to earthquake, Algeria has made significant progress in the reduction of seismic risks over the years. These developments were evaluated at the level of this international symposium on the reduction of seismic risk, which saw the participation of more than 700 expert researchers, as well as actors of different Algerian and foreign sectors.
Algerian government has been done a lot and did a good job. But we have gradually getting better figure of the mitigation implemented. So I'd like to little explain what kind of the conditions for such a kind of improvement, and also a kind of public and also private initiative to conduct that kind of things.
We'll be focusing on the recent earthquakes in February that have taken place in my country in the southeast, and the horrible human and economic costs of that. I will be examining the causes of the losses that the country has suffered, and I will be talking about the importance of governance in the management and reduction of risk.
We should work all together in order to get prepared for the next event. I'm sure that what we are doing here in Algeria is provoking activities, development, investments in order to reduce the seismic risk. And this is an initiative that has to be done and developed all over the world, because in fact we'll continue having earthquakes. The vulnerability of our constructions should be reduced.
Many experts estimate that by the year 2050, about 66% of the world's population will live in urban areas. This population concentration will pose many challenges, especially with regard to disaster management. The implementation of an efficient strategy for disaster management is essential to ensure the safety of populations. The fight against the risks of catastrophes by the installation of an institutional and legal arsenal with the issuance of the Law 04/20 relating to the prevention of the major risks and the management of the catastrophes. This meeting was an opportunity to assess the results of the most recent research in this field at the global level, and particularly in Algeria, which is committed to adopt a proactive approach focusing on the prevention and reduction of seismic risks.
The Speaker of the National People's Assembly, Ibrahim Boughali, met at the Algiers International Airport with his Zambian counterpart, who began an official visit to Algeria. The two parties discussed bilateral relations and cooperation. A delegation from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies of Nigeria continue their visit in Algeria after Constantine Province. As we saw yesterday, members of the delegation visited industrial infrastructures, this time in Annaba Province. First stop, the steel complex of Al-Hajjar. Coverage by Ismail Bilqaidiya, taken up by Sabarin Tafrikanit.
Still in the east part of the country, the Nigerian delegation paid a technical visit to Annaba Province. These last visits across the country come under the framework of developing the cooperation and trade agreements between Algeria and Nigeria. I can say that we are impressed by what we've seen amid our visit to these companies that are currently achieving their own national production, which makes us proud to be Africans. It's not a secret that Algiers and Lagos access was strengthened. Our leaders rely on this cooperation. We must then export our know-how to Nigeria. This morning, they visited 4 facilities of 4 different companies. They expressed their interest in our production, and we hope that we could establish economic ties in different fields. An example of the production facilities where the delegation visited as a last stop the complex of Fertial, a producer and exporter company as well. Our main concern is the promotion of exportation to our neighboring African countries. Thus, we're looking forward to increase our production capacity of fertilizers, since our only product that we used to export was ammonia. But now we want fertilizers to be included and to be exported to all the African countries. Annaba's steel complex, on the other hand, also impressed the Nigerian delegation amid this visit.
Within the framework of the fight against terrorism, thanks to the efforts of the security services of the National People's Army, 3 terrorists surrendered on Friday to the military authorities in the operational sector of Burj Bajr Mukhtar in the 6th military region. This concerns the terrorists Malouki Habib, also known as Habibullah, who joined the terrorist groups in 2012, Malouki Sidia, also known as Abu Maryam, who also joined the terrorist groups in 2012, and Mahrib al-Khair, who joined the terrorist groups in 2013. These terrorists, who were active within terrorist groups in the Sahel region, were in possession of 3 Kalashnikov machine guns, automatic pistol caliber 7.65 millimeters, 2 F1 defensive bombs, 11 ammunition magazines for Kalashnikov machine gun, 1 ammunition magazine for automatic pistol, 295 rounds of various calibers, 1 transceiver. This operation reiterates the determination of the National People's Army to combat terrorism and all forms of crime, as well as the tireless efforts of our armed forces on the ground to establish security and tranquility throughout the national territory. The 14th Ordinary Session and General Assembly of the African Union of Broadcasting came to a close in Abuja, Nigeria, in the presence of the Minister of Communication, Mohammed Bouslimani, as a guest of honor. On the occasion, the head of the union, Najaka Girigwar, expressed his gratitude on behalf of all representatives of the various African media and his gratitude for the efforts of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, in order to advance the development path in the African continent. A military parade was organized on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Polisario Front, a symbol reflecting the struggle of the valiant Sahrawi people refusing to give up their fight for their freedom, even amid repetitive aggressions by the Moroccan occupation. Our own Walid Yousfi reports from Awsir, commented by Rania Al-Bahri.
The Sahrawi army celebrated the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Polisario Front and the beginning of the armed struggle, a fierce fight which continues until now for the independence of Western Sahara. Our people, under the command of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Saqi al-Hamra and Wad al-Dahab, have achieved a lot during these last 50 years of struggle. Some would say it's a miracle. We have won many victories on both political and military sides. Men and women, young and old, the Sahrawi people were also present during the celebrations in the Awsir refugee camps. Most of them took the opportunity to express their determination for the liberation of their lands. The celebrations are going very well. The Polisario Front has put forward its military force, their human and material capacities. We will continue our armed struggle to regain our freedom and liberate all the occupied Sahrawi territories. Unwavering support for Western Sahara, the Sahrawi cause was therefore at the heart of the celebrations of this 50th anniversary, through which the Polisario Front once again reaffirms its right to self-determination and its territorial sovereignty.
During a press conference in Awsir in the Sahrawi refugee camps, the Sahrawi Minister of Foreign Affairs affirmed that the celebration of the 50th anniversary is an occasion for the Sahrawi people to renew their oath to continue the fight until the final victory. Report by Adel Saadoun, commented by Sabarinta Ferginit.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of the armed struggle is an opportunity for the Sahrawi people to renew their determination to carry out the struggle to its end by maintaining its will with endurance to win the final fight that will crown the military victories they had won against the Spanish colonizer and after that the Moroccan occupier, in addition to the resulting diplomatic victories at the international scale. It is the occasion for Sahrawi people to renew their oath to continue and finish this fight till the end due to their determination and will. The head of the Sahrawi diplomacy announced the actions taken by some states and the Council of States and the European Commission, which are going against the European justice decisions, and expressed his disappointment towards the incapacity of the United Nations and the international community for not assuming their responsibility and allow the Sahrawi people to exercise their right of self-determination. Sahrawi people are more than disappointed because the international community didn't fully exercise its responsibility and apply the international right of Western Sahara. In the same context, the Minister of Foreign Affairs recalled the decision of the Polisario Front of finishing the battle till the end.
Football, the most popular sport in the world, has always been more than just a game. It is also a way for colonized peoples to make their voices heard, including the last colony in Africa, Western Sahara, who now officially has a football team. Their first match was against Mouloudia of Algiers and ended with 5-1 for the Algerian team.
هكذا هي الفنيات حاضرة وسراء من الحكومة الجزائرية ومن حكومتها الصحراوية مباشرة وهدف التعادل من مولودية الجزائر.
The end of the bulletin. I'm Niti Sessis Qawi. Take care.